That was the dark stained tissue, surrounded by lighter stained tissue, which were the pancreatic islets, or islets of Langerhans. This one, the stain's a little bit different than what we saw in the slides before when we were looking at slides of the digestive system. These kind of yellow-brown cells that make up most of the tissue, again, are the excrement cells that for the most part produce digestive enzymes. And they're carried by pancreatic ducts to the small intestine. And there are two major ducts. One that basically runs the length of the pancreas. What's that called? The main pancreatic duct. Okay, it's got a fancy name, but I accept a main pancreatic duct. And there's a little one that kind of branches off. What's that one called? The accessory pancreatic duct. Okay, those happen to be on the exam. Anyway, pancreatic ducts carry the secretions from these cells. These are excrement cells, also called excrement acini. And for the most part, they produce digestive enzymes which work in the small intestine. But these, you see a different stain on them now, these are the islets of Langerhans, or pancreatic islets. This is the hormonal tissue. Remember I told you 2 hormones. Actually, there are 4. We're going to look at now today. The cells stain differently. I'd like you to recognize them and know what hormone they produce. The major cell type in the pancreatic islets stain kind of a rose pink, which you see here, and they're the most abundant. These are beta cells. And beta cells, you may remember, produce insulin. What does insulin do? Lowers glucose levels in the blood. Stimulates cells to take up glucose and stockpile it in the cell as glycogen. So it's lowering blood glucose levels. That's the major cell type. Second most abundant are these dark brown cells. And again, we're looking at the cytoplasm. The dark brown cells are called alpha cells. You may remember they produce glucagon. And glucagon, remember, elevates glucose levels in the blood. Between those 2 hormones, most people can regulate their blood sugar levels. Insulin to lower glucose levels, glucagon to elevate. Glucagon stimulates the breakdown of glycogen and release of glucose in the blood. And actually, we got 2 other cell types in there too. One of which I'll expect you to pick up. They're not as common as the other 2. They have kind of a tan cytoplasm. Now these cells are called delta cells. Delta cells produce what is called somatostatin. If you look, we mentioned this before, those are also produced by the enteroendocrine cells at the base of the gastric glands. But if you look bottom of page 2 in your hormone handout, again, the pancreatic hormones, glucagon, insulin, and then somatostatin from the delta cells. Notice it's got another name. It's also called growth hormone inhibiting hormone, because it inhibits secretion of growth hormone, also inhibits secretion of TSH, thyroid stimulating hormone, inhibits release of stomach hormones like gastrin and enzymes from the stomach, also enzymes in the pancreas, such as glucagon and insulin, inhibits contraction of gallbladder, release of bile, absorption of nutrients. So basically it shuts things down. Soma means body, and statin means to hold, or stop, or hold in check. So this is somatostatin produced by these kind of tan colored cytoplasm cells in the pancreatic islets. Right up here, and you can see this better in the microscope. One up there, okay, one right here, as opposed to dark brown stained cytoplasmic cells, which are the alpha cells. The 4 cell type I don't expect you to pick out, they're few and far between. Those are called F cells. They produce what's called pancreatic polypeptide. That's right at the bottom of the page. You can see it inhibits secretion of somatostatin. So it basically shuts down somatostatin, which is good. The somatostatin shuts down just about everything else. So you got to have a way to turn it off. That's what pancreatic polypeptide does, produced by F cells in the pancreatic islets. Again, you don't have to pick those up, just know they're there and what they do. Okay, so 4 hormones. Beta cells, these rose pink cells, produce insulin. Next most abundant, the dark brown cytoplasm cells, alpha cells, produce glucagon. Third most abundant, the tan cytoplasm cells, delta cells, produce somatostatin. And then the F cells, you don't have to pick out, produce pancreatic polypeptide. Okay, so know those 4 hormones, the cells are producing, and what those hormones do. Any questions? Okay, let's look now at the adrenal gland.